What will you do to keep New Bedford clean and welcoming to residents and tourists alike?
Well, I think that's a wonderful question because, as you notice, there's a lot of beautification projects going out through the entire city of New Bedford. We have more murals than ever before. We need to promote the 2 harbor walks now that we have. They are probably the rising star right now of the city of New Bedford. And I really believe that when people realize that it's actually here and built and ready, we're going to get a lot of people coming in just to tour that. I also believe that I like to see banners throughout the city. We have a lot of Christmas banners that will go up and Christmas decorations. We have Christmas decorating contests that the businesses put together, and that brings in quite a lot of people. But also, I think a very exciting part is the AHA nights. We support that on the council. The 50s night also brings in a lot of people. And then there's the festivities within neighborhoods from our new immigrants that are starting to come in. And I always talk about that in the council as well, that we need to promote their festivities that are held within the city. And it's very new, it's very cultural, and people like to come in and see that. And one of the biggest draws going in right now to the city of New Bedford is a waterfront. I mean, we got a fast ferry now. It says you can go to Nantucket, Martha's Vineyard, it's all here. So I'd like to, we have a hotel now on the waterfront. So I'd like to keep these people a little longer here when they actually come to the Fast Ferry. I want them to come in and enjoy our various neighborhoods. Thank you for that.
Thank you, Ms. Coelho. Mr. Morrow.
So, on the issue of beautification, we all want a clean city, we all want parks, we all want trees and everything, and I think that's important, right? People want to live in a city that have parks and trees and that seem clean. But that's a superficial level, right? If you drive down Union Street, you get one perspective of New Bedford. If you drive down, Ashley Boulevard, there's another one. Right? And so I think we can plant trees, we can put up banners, we can, promote AHA Night and these other festivities around the city, but that's only going to go skin deep, right? I think when we start getting outside of these more kind of public areas, right, we start going into the neighborhoods, right? We see absentee landlords, we see houses that are rotting and they're derelict, right? There's 3 landlords that control more than 100 properties in this city. And a lot of the crime that we have in this city comes from those landlords, right? They knowingly rent out to drug dealers. They knowingly rent out to criminals, right? So if we want to get serious about beautifying this city, then we need to get serious about kicking those landlords out and kicking those tenants out, right? We need to start enforcing some of our absentee landlord ordinances. We need to get more aggressive on these on individuals that bring these crimes into our city, that bring these drugs in this city, right? Because you can put a banner up, but if you got someone who's ODing on opioids, I'm not going to see the beauty there, right? I'm not focused on the banner, right? There's so much more we got to do as a city than, slapping some lipstick on it. So that's my position on that. The banners, it's not homecoming, right? This is a far bigger issue.
Thank you, Mr. Boyle. Mr. Jansen.
Could you repeat the question very quickly?
Of course. What will you do to keep New Bedford clean and welcoming to residents and tourists alike?
Well, first of all, we have to enforce our littering law. I mean, you go throughout our city in certain areas, not every area, but too many. Papers are all over the city. People just throw things out of their car. We have a law in the books, and it needs to be enforced. Now, bringing people here, that's going to be really tough, and I'll explain why. Many years ago, we had what was called Section 8 mobility certificates. And it brought a tremendous amount of undesirable people. It's an ugly thing to say, but it's the truth. It brought dysfunctional people here, bringing up dysfunctional children. It's ruined our school department, our school system. And we had a number of illegal immigrants, not as many as we had in the past decade, but they're still here, taking jobs away from the young kids that don't go on to college, that entry-level positions. It took the jobs away from these young people. So they developed a lousy self-image, and they turned to heroin because there was no jobs available for them. That makes our city an ugly city. So it's going to be tough. We need to give our residents, like Mr. Burrow said, we need to put more emphasis on absentee landlords, people who don't live at the properties that they rent these undesirables to. I don't know how they're going to do that. I hope our city council can address that issue. I think they've tried, but there are legal ramifications that put a roadblock up. But that needs to be addressed. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jansen. For those, I will repeat the question. The question is, what will you do to keep New Bedford clean and welcoming to residents and tourists alike? Mr. Gomes.
Thank you very much. Well, the first thing you do is educate, and I guess we can start in our grammar schools with our young people right now, because there's some people that don't care about the city of New Bedford. Let me tell you about Operation Clean Sweep that goes through the city, and I commend that organization. But I was out there with people like Ken Resendiz and others long time ago cleaning up the city of New Bedford, and this is what we got in return: picking up TVs, picking up syringes, picking up garbage. You go back to that neighborhood within 24 hours and the garbage is right back there, and there's nothing more heartbreaking than seeing all those good people that went into those neighborhoods to try to clean them up and tried to show people that a good neighborhood, clean and respectable, is a good place to live and work and raise your family. How do we make our city welcome? You just keep on selling the city. The city is not selling itself right now. We have so much to offer, but it's not been put together correctly. Let me just give you an instinct. This is the seafood capital of the world, correct, everyone? You look out there when there's all those boats and everything. When we leave here after this debate or this forum this evening, let's go into downtown and find a little window on the side, like we could find maybe in Newport or Providence, and get a fried clam box, or a scallop box, or maybe some fish nuggets. Can we do that? No, we can't, because again, the plan of action in bringing the city to the forefront has not been put forth. This city can be a great city, and it is a great city. It can be greater than what it is. Clean up our highway exits that come into the city, as we've addressed on many occasions. Keep the city clean. Get some stores and businesses in downtown. They talk about downtown driving. The only place that's driving downtown is when you want to have a beer. That's the only thing that's driving. There is nothing else driving. Is there anywhere you can get a shirt or a dress or a blouse after 4 o'clock in the afternoon in the city of New Bedford? Any other city we can go to. We've got vacant buildings up on Union Street. We've got vacant buildings in other places. It's been talked about for decades and decades with nothing being done. I'll take care of it.
Thank you, Mr. Gomes. Ms. Moran.
No, I was just wondering, I heard somebody chuckle and I wanted their help on that issue.
So how about what we've done? How about the fact that we've increased funding for street sweeping in the city of New Bedford? How about the fact that we've passed a absentee landlord ordinance in the city of New Bedford? How about the fact that we continue to put tourism money forward so that we can promote the city of New Bedford and have festivals and events that come to the city of New Bedford? How about the fact that we have funded our High Night, which is education of children and enjoying the arts within our community? How about that we're at every event that is in the city, promoting the city of New Bedford, attempting to talk to people in the city of New Bedford and making sure we understand what the issues are. This is all stuff that the city council has done. But the city council's job per the charter is to set the budget and to pass the ordinances in the city of New Bedford. We do a heck of a lot more than that. I'm not sure we get a lot of credit for the other things that we do, but we try our best to make sure that we're involved in the community and we're engaged in what needs to be done in the city of New Bedford. In addition to that, we've promoted the city as best we can, but there are roadblocks in front of us with people in the wrong positions. There are people in the city of New Bedford that aren't doing the job that they should be doing to promote the city, to make the city beautiful, to make the city come forward. There's a limited amount that we can do to make those changes in this role. That's an administrative role. But I will tell you that over my term, I have oftentimes voted no to initiatives and or to appointments that I knew were not for the benefit of the residents of the city of New Bedford. I will continue to do that.
Thank you, Ms. Moran. Ms. Carney?
Question again? Keep the city
What
clean.
will you do to keep New Bedford clean and welcoming to residents and tourists alike?
Okay, what will we do? Well, what we have done, like Councilor had said. We've worked very hard. I know that I've been involved in Operation Clean Sweep, and I urge everybody in their community that you need to get out there and do that. You've got paper in front of your street, pick it up. You've got trash in your sidewalks, pick it up, throw it in the garbage. It takes an effort from everybody in the community to keep it clean. We do have a beautiful city here. I mean, our tourism is picked up. We have the beautiful things on the waterfront, the concerts that go on. We do bring people in New Bedford. You know, but we as New Bedford people need to get together as New Bedford people to make our city clean. We need to take pride in our city. We do have the street sweepers out there, and they're posted to go into the neighborhoods. These streets are being cleaned up. We are taking all the initiatives out there to make this a better place. The problem property ordinance that we passed, this council passed, let me tell you, that task force is on the ball. You pick up the phone, you call them. I've dealt with them on several occasions, with the problem landlords, with some of the abandoned properties, with the overgrown grass, with the trash, with the couches in their driveways. They are on the ball and they pick it up. They work very closely with the city council. It doesn't take 2 minutes. You call, they get an answer, and they act on it. So we are looking to clean up the city. We are passing ordinances here to make sure that our city is clean and it's beautified and it's taken care of. So we are doing that as a body. We have done as a body, and we will continue. And I'll continue to work with my colleagues to make sure that this city is one that we are proud of, that we love, and that we have a stake into it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Carney. Mr. Avery.
So again, it's not just civic pride. All of us having a pride in New Bedford, all of us having a pride in this community and working together to make our city what it can be and make it better than what it already is. And we want to continue to grow up that momentum. You talk about absentee property owners and neglectful property owners. Well, I'm happy to say that. Councilor Carney mentioned it. Me as well. I've worked with the housing department, the task force, and working with them, we've been responsible for over 2 dozen corrective property orders or fines to neglectful property owners. That's holding them accountable. That's using the tools that we have in the ordinance that was passed before I got on, but using those tools to hold those neglectful property owners accountable. Look, again, you talk about civic pride, it has to start in the schools. Over the years, we've seen a decrease in civics classes in the schools. We've seen a decrease in a lot of history curriculum in the schools. We've seen that, and it's been unfortunate. And what happens is because when you're coming up through the ranks in the school department, and as we've all become young adults, you don't really understand what New Bedford is about. You don't understand our rich history or really have that civic pride. I myself, when I was in high school, didn't have it until I left for college and came back and learned more about our history. I gained my civic pride when I worked in college at the Siemens Bethel on weekends, offering tours. That's where I learned about our culture and our diversity. Get involved in the community, get involved in the local nonprofits who really do the good work of the community, like the E4All program, where it's creating jobs, it's creating small business startups for budding entrepreneurs, or the I Love the Ave initiative on Acushnet Avenue that beautifies Acushnet Avenue. They're rolling up their sleeves, they're getting down and dirty, they're painting chipped buildings, they're picking up weeds out of the ground, they're picking up litter and garbage. Those are the kinds of initiatives, as well as Operation Clean Sweep, and I've been a long-time volunteer there as well. Those are the kinds of programs and initiatives we need to continue to foster, we need to continue to promote amongst all of us. And that is where we can work together collectively in getting our civic pride back to where it should be. Thank you.